Welcome to today's explainer, guys. We're diving right into two super common but honestly kind of tricky JLPT N4 grammar points today. We're talking about nakute mo ii and nara. Our goal here is simple. We want to help you sound exactly like a natural Japanese speaker, using completely natural English equivalents to bridge that gap. So buckle up, because mastering these two is going to absolutely level up your daily conversations and, for sure, boost those exam scores.
Okay, so real quick, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll hit Grammar 1, nakute mo ii, then Grammar 2, using nara. After that, we'll break down some tricky JLPT grammar differences, and finally wrap up with exam tips and practice.
Section 1. Grammar 1. Nakute mo ii. Giving permission not to do something.
So the absolutely crucial thing to remember here is that this grammar point removes an obligation. It's literally a green light to just skip an action. When you drop a nakute mo ii in conversation, you're essentially telling someone, hey, you really don't have to do this, or you don't need to. It takes all the pressure off in a super polite and natural way.
Now, how do we actually build this? It's basically a simple three-step formula. First up, grab the negative short form of a verb. The nai form, like ikanai, meaning not go. Step 2, just slice off that final I, so you're left with ikana. And step 3, just tack on kute mo ii. So ikanai transforms into ikana kute mo ii. Boom, you don't have to go.
Let's look at a real-life situation we all love. Getting a day off. 明日は学校へ行かなくてもいいです. Tomorrow, you do not have to go to school. Listen to how natural that sounds, right? You aren't just making a statement, you're giving explicit permission to stay home. Best feeling ever.
Here's another really great, super practical example for daily conversation. Kutsu o nuganakute mo ii desu yo. You don't have to take off your shoes. Now, in Japan, taking off your shoes indoors is pretty much a golden rule, right? So going out of your way to tell a guest, nuganakute mo ii, you don't have to take them off, is a massive relief for them. It shows exactly how handy this grammar point is for making people feel comfortable.
Okay, huge red flag here. Please, whatever you do, don't mix these two concepts up. Confusing you don't have to with you absolutely must not is a classic trap on the JLPT. Think about the first one. Ikanakute mo ii just means it's totally cool if you don't go. But the second one, ite wa ikanai, means you absolutely must not go. It's a complete ban. To a beginner, they might sound a tiny bit similar, but their meanings are literally worlds apart.
Moving right along to Section 2. Grammar 2. Using nara. How to say if or in that case.
So, nara is your go-to word for if or in that case. The beauty of it is how easily it hooks up to a noun, a casual verb, or an adjective. You're going to use this all the time when someone drops a piece of info on you and you want to instantly bounce back with some advice or a suggestion.
Let's break down an awesome example. Nihon e iku nara, Kyoto mo itta houga ii desu. Check out how the first half sets up the condition. Hey, someone's going to Japan. The speaker hears that and reacts with iku nara, meaning if you go. Then bam, the second half delivers the recommendation. You should also visit Kyoto. It just flows so naturally.
All right, into Section 3, tricky JLPT grammar differences. Distinguishing between nara, tara, and to.
Okay, lock these three categories in your mind because they are going to be your absolute best friend. The JLPT loves, and I mean loves, to test if you know exactly when to use these specific conditionals. Nara is your guy for giving advice. Tara comes in when you're focusing on what happens after a specific event goes down. And to, that's strictly for automatic outcomes, like pressing a button and a screen turning on. Keep these neat little boxes clear in your head.
Let's actually see this play out in a super relatable mini narrative between two friends. Person A kicks it off with a casual question. Ashita party ni iku? Are you going to the party tomorrow?
Then person B drops the obstacle. Okane ga nai. Now, I don't have money. Classic problem, right? But this sets up the absolute perfect condition for our grammar points to swoop in and save the day, because person B just gave us a brand new piece of information.
And here is the magic. We see both of today's grammar points teaming up in one smooth sentence. Person A reacts to the whole being broke thing with nara, okane ga nai nara, if you don't have money. Then they instantly take the pressure off using our first grammar point, ikanakute mo ii yo, you don't have to go. This right here is exactly how native speakers build natural, supportive dialogue.
Which brings us to Section 4,
exam tips, and practice. Let's test your knowledge for the JLPT N4.
Before we jump into the questions, keep these core rules locked in. These bullet points highlight the exact danger zones the N4 exam uses to trip you up. Remember, nukute mo ii means permission to skip something, while te wa ikanai is a hard no. Also, expect nara to show up a ton in the reading and listening sections whenever characters are bouncing ideas off each other and giving advice.
All right, practice question number 1. Tsukarete iru nara muri yo. What goes in the blank? A. Shinakute mo ii. B. Shite wa ikenai. Or C. Shinai de. Feel free to pause for a sec and figure out which option gives the best advice based on what we just covered.
If you went with A, absolutely fantastic job. The full sentence is tsukarete iru nara muri o shinakute mo ii. Because nara sets up the condition, if you're tired, nakute mo ii steps in to give that gentle permission to chill out. You don't have to push yourself. It's definitely the most natural and honestly the most compassionate advice out of the bunch.
Let's try one more. We need to pick the right conditional particle for a travel recommendation here. Nihon e iku blank Osaka mo osusume desu. A. Temo. B. Nara. Or C. Nakute. Which one seamlessly links the trip to the recommendation?
And the correct answer is B. Nihon e iku nara Osaka mo osusume desu. The key here is that the speaker is reacting to some awesome news about a trip to Japan and dropping an immediate suggestion based on that exact info. Nara is the absolute perfect conversational bridge for that scenario.
And that wraps up today's explainer. So I'm leaving you with a challenge. What natural Japanese sentence are you going to create today? How will you use nakute mo ii or nara in your own daily life to communicate with actual confidence? Remember, learning grammar isn't just about passing the JLPT. It's about actually connecting with people out in the real world. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next explainer.